everyone, welcome back. This is Chef Aya with Sage Dining in George Washington University. Today we're going to be making Castella cake, which is a very common dessert in Japan. Very easy to make, only 4 ingredients, 6 eggs, 1 cup of sugar. You're going to want to weigh your flour, which is about 7 ounces of bread flour, and 1/3 cup of honey, which we're going to dilute in 2.5 tablespoons of warm water. So let's get started. Now for your flour, make sure you sieve it well. I do it twice before I add it to my mixture. Now for your honey, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of honey and 2.5 tablespoons of warm water. Now before you start, make sure to preheat your oven at 320 degrees. I already cracked my eggs, as you can see, and I'm going to start whipping them. I'm going to start at 4. Now I'm going to crank it up to 6 to make sure it's nicely mixed and a little pale before I add the sugar. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the sugar slowly. Now we're going to let it mix until it doubles in size and it turns pretty pale. As you can see, it's starting to change color. Now once it's doubled in size and changed color, we're going to go ahead and turn it down a little bit and add the honey mixture. So I made sure to whisk it one more time before I add it in. I'm going to turn it down to 4 and slowly add the honey mixture. Try to keep it in the center as much as you can. I'm going to just crank it up to 6 a little bit to make sure it's all whisked in. Now when we add the flour, I'm going to turn it down to 2. And you're not going to dump it in, you're going to add it gradually. Don't take too much time though, because we don't want it to overwork. Now we're going to go ahead and scrape it down. As you can see, it's a nice ribbon. Make sure to fold the rest in. Make sure not to overwork it. It's nice and fluffy. All right, now it's ready to go in the mold. Now that our batter is ready, we're going to put it to the side. We're going to make sure to spray the pan really well. We're going to use a brush to even out everything. Okay. Now we're going to fill our pan about 80% full. So once you fill your cake pan, we're going to use a toothpick to get the air bubbles out, and then we're going to tap it against the counter, again to make sure all the air bubbles are out before we bake it. So we're going to go ahead and bake it for 40 minutes at 320. Now make sure that as soon as it's getting close to being done the 40 minutes, you have a clean counter with plastic wrap and you have the brushing honey, which is going to be 1 tablespoon of honey and 1/2 tablespoon of warm water so we can brush it and flip it. We're going to need to do this while it's warm so the moisture gets locked in. Okay. Hello again. So we're about 15 seconds out. I went ahead and cleared out my countertop. I have my plastic wrap and my honey and water to brush it off as soon as it comes out. And I have my toothpick so I can test it and make sure it's done. And it's done. It's all done. So while it's hot, you want to brush it with the 1 tablespoon of honey and half a tablespoon of warm water so it can lock in all the moisture. Just be gentle when you're brushing it so you don't kind of poke it in. It's gonna look like you have a lot to brush, but just make sure to get everything in there so it could soak all in. So once I loosen all the edges out, I'm going to flip it onto the plastic wrap and wrap it tightly. Alrighty. Moment of truth. It smells amazing, by the way. Alrighty. And flip it one go. Just let it sit for a bit. Let it sit for a bit. So once it's cooled down, I'm gonna go ahead and lift the pan up. Alrighty. And move this down so you can see it. Alrighty. And we're gonna wrap it tight to lock in the moisture. Strap it like 3-4 times just to make sure that it's secure. Now once this is tightly wrapped, we're going to put it to the side and put it in the fridge for overnight or 12 hours. I already made another one yesterday, so you can see how it's like once we cut into it. Now be careful cutting the plastic wrap. I know it's going to be a little bit harder. Now the plastic wrap is going to be stuck a little bit, of course, since we brushed it with honey. So please be careful when you're taking it off. All right, now we're going to cut through it so you can see how awesome it is. Now this is how it looks inside. It's nice and dense. It's going to be easy for you to cut through it. So I'm going to go ahead and slice 2 pieces so you can see how it holds together. Alrighty, and this is how it looks like. And there you have it, Castella cake from Japan. Easy to make, only 4 ingredients, won't take a lot of time. Give it a try and let us know what you think. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy, and thank you for watching.